Good afternoon, witness number one and number two. Welcome back for continuation of your testimonies before this commission of inquiry into local government councils and related matters. I want to remind you that you are still on the oath before I hand over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair. Over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bachelet
Good afternoon.
and Honorable Mayor. Welcome back. Now, Council will proceed.
Yes, Mr. Bachelet, we were discussing the letter written to you by the mayor in relation to Idanjai's issue. Now, Mr. Bachelet, again, why did you not respond to this letter?
I cannot say why, because I really am not too sure about the status of the letters.
You're not too sure about what?
Well, I have replied on it because I just cannot recall it from here.
No, you said earlier that you didn't reply. You went and had a discussion with the mayor.
Yeah, the discussion was done, but then we formally accompanying with a letter. I'm not very at this juncture to sure about.
Because allegations here are serious.
Yes.
That's the issue. It is in relation, again, I read, that you tried to bribe Ida to sign a fake contract committee meeting on the 24th of June 2020. And you also harassed her in several instances. I don't know what the word harass would mean here, but you gave her an indefinite suspension on a half salary for allowing the GPA for, for their annual compliance and audit review on 19th of October 2020. And it reads further, in light of these serious allegations that have been made, I will need you to respond to these matters as they are in violation of our work ethics and code of conduct. The manual to the council should be a safe working environment for all staff, where staffs are free to execute their work as per terms of reference without facing challenges. I will need your response to these items by Friday, 14th of April 2021. I believe, Mr. Bachelet, this is a positive step from the mayor's office to you.
Yes.
And it shows, again, for various complaints we've had from various witnesses, especially Idenjai, in relation to, and Idenjai and Safati, who was there, in relation to maladministration, especially the way you handle the procurement office. Do you understand?
Yes.
As CEO, as CEO, it is also very consistent with letters that were written as well, especially the one from Sangun Fati, the 14th of February 2018, even though the administration of the mayor was not in place at the time, which reads that the unprofessional handling of procurement affairs in BCC, with reference to the subject above, I regret to bring to your notice that many unprofessional observations of procurement procedures in BCC. I intend to bring to the attention of the management that the finance director has in many instances failed to respect the set rules procurement procedures. He has repeatedly called the suppliers directly to negotiate on price, quantity, and delivery of goods and service, and delays my procurement transactions and often neglects procurement procedures. It is enough to say that the finance director has solved the role of the procurement actors in PCC. It is my fervent belief that procurement must and should follow best practice in line with international standard which governs the ethics of our profession. I want to urge the management, particularly managerial internal auditors, BCC, to be watchful as any of best practice in procurement could have negative implication in the reputation of BCC and myself as a trained procurement specialist. Mr. Bachelet, there have been complaints about your management, about procurement. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. And the idea is that you bypass procurement process. This was known to you because it was written to you. Correct?
Yeah.
And this is what transcends to the new administration as the CEO. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I will ask you, how would you convince the commissioners that this was not a deliberate act upon your side to bypass procurement process? You want to answer?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, what the first thing I want to make sure that I put to towards the explanation is that first of all, if you
Explanation?
I say first of all, I want to give you, let's say, a background or whatever
Yes.
situation
Yes.
of how procurement was.
Right.
Because, for example, if we go by, I'm not saying this is a reason, but if you go by that Sankung, the gentleman Sankung Party himself,
Yes.
he was not a qualified procurement person.
But you are my friend.
You know, he wasn't.
But he's employed.
Yeah, he's employed. I'm not too sure that this guy came as an intern or maybe subsequently.
Not a reason to not follow procurement.
No.
That's my problem.
No, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
I'm coming to that. The reason why the adherence to the procurement
Right.
they were not substantive.
That's not a reason. You don't have the powers as CEO to bypass procurement. You don't have those powers. You do not. You don't have discretion.
No, yes, I don't have such powers. I agree to that.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking maybe I should give you additional information about what was then.
Yes, we have already had that.
Yes.
As a matter of one of the reasons maybe as to why the idea is the law does not give you that discretion. Do you understand?
Yes.
You don't have that discretion. Now, Honorable Mayor, you wrote to the CEO. It was good on your side. Is this not the type of oversight functions that we have the discussion?
Nena yow yaa bindoon CEO yi nena mbaa di nekk toog jamono bi nga xam ne wax nga ne oversight functions moo xewoon.
No, my point, what I'm trying to put across is the mayor has demonstrated her oversight function powers by positively following the law and writing to the mayor and then making sure she demands explanation.
Nena fii moom yow def nga lu war li nga xam ne ànd na ak loi bi mooy yow sa warugal bi def nga ko mooy bind nga leetar bi pour CEO bi woon ko li nga xam ne loolu moo nekk ati def nena loolu war na te def nga sa liggéey.
Is that not the case?
Nena mbaa demee noonu.
Okay.
Yes.
And we must commend you for this because that's what we expect.
Nena lii nekk na loo xam ne foog nit gërëm la parce que loo xam ne lu fa war te nit ñi lii lañ foog ne li nga war a def.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you had given Mr. Bachelor a deadline which reads, I will need your response to these items by Friday, 14th of April, 2021.
Nena yow de jox nga ko waxtu te li nga bind mooy jox nga wax nga ko ne lii daf la war a tontu wala ajuma weer bi soo xam fukki fan ak ñeneen.
So when he did not respond, did you do anything after this?
Nena bi nga demee ba bés ba jot moom tontu la nena ndax am nga li nga defoon.
I cannot remember a long part.
I cannot remember what did I do.
Well, that brings us back to
That brings us back to what I have told you before that.
Your employee local.
Somebody whom you know that you did not employ that individual.
Demote.
You cannot be able to promote him or you cannot demote him. You cannot be able to punish the person.
Dafa nahari kunga supervise.
It will be very difficult for you to supervise that said individual.
Because
if at all it is through my employment, the person will know that I can be able to promote him or her, or demote him or her.
Discipline.
And the individual be aware and understand that I can be able to suspend him or her or discipline him.
He or she will take it seriously.
Then he or she, he will take it very seriously.
Why Fogna Limadal Mr. Bachelor?
But I think what happened to me from through Mr. Bachelor,
more than Mr. Bachelor said, staff summit.
And that is what happened to Mr. Bachili with him and the other staffs.
I'm not taking any excuse for Mr. Bachili.
I'm not taking any excuse for the CEO.
Why come fi dañ fi nekk pour una jagar council si.
But here, the purpose of being here is just to see that we can be able to regulate or maintenance council.
This might be my opinion.
And this will be my opinion.
Why ko xamne comme ni ma la ko waxee rek so gisee Mr. Bachili jël ko seriously.
As I tell you, the reason why Mr. Bachili did not take it seriously.
He nekkut benn letter. There is another memo fee.
And this is not the only letter. There is another memo.
Let's discuss what you said before we go to that letter.
Nena bala ñu top ci letter bi wala ñu jalas letter bi discuss lo xam kawale.
Wa man mako jappé rek ne na so gisé xejna check jëlut ma seriously.
The thinking I have that the reason why he did not take me seriously.
Moy li nga xamné mo yeneen staff bi manager sa mi tamit jëliñ ko seriously rek mom tam.
And the reason is that because of certain staffs too, they did not take it seriously too.
Moy ne xam nañ ne Mr. Bachili xam na ne mënu mako daxa.
And Mr. Bachili knows that I cannot be able to remove him.
Mënu mako promote, mënu mako demote.
I cannot promote him, no demote him.
Mënu mako punish.
I cannot be able to punish him.
So obviously, suma reply mënu ma ci dara de.
So obviously, if he don't reply me, I have no other options.
Well, with all honesty,
to be honest,
I bidut mama.
He did not write to me.
Why didn't you discuss for man?
But he do comes and we discuss it together.
Why the nature of
is that what you understand by the laws regulating the councils?
I know
you understand Wolof and you understand English language as well. So Mr. Bojang may not, explain it to the best of your understanding. But
belegi mo xamna ne dega nga olof bu baax bi ko ba dega nga akale bi ko mu ne mun na nekk tamit su fekkee ne am na li nga xam ne wax naa ko te leeral wax yow understand si lu ma miin
or you ask to be repeated.
Nee na mun nga ma laajte ma dal di ko bantuwaat
now what you have said
nee na li nga waxoon
regarding your relationship with the CEO as mayor
mooy sa relationship bi ak CEO as mayor
and the relationship of the CEO together with the staff.
Ak mom tamit nu mu related wala relationship ak staff.
How you understand the legal relationships you have?
Lolu nga xam si relation bi nga xam ne wala boka seexante bi nga xam ne boobu ngeen am.
Because what you said and what the law is saying regarding your relationship is totally different.
Nena li nga wax ak loi bi lu mu tëralee seen ni ngeen war a seexante dina dafa utee.
Lead counsel.
Lead counsel.
Foog naa wax naa la from the beginning na you're going by the book.
I think I told you earlier on that you are going by it. For us to, if at all we have followed it, there is a point if we reach there, we cannot be able to go anywhere anymore. You told me here that if at all Mr. Bachili did not do what he's supposed to do, then I'm supposed to take it to council.
Discuss about it.
We discuss about it.
We take a decision about it.
And take a decision about it.
We take a decision about maybe his attitude or whatever we want to do.
Take a decision about his attitude or whatever we want to do.
That's where the bus stop with us.
That is where the bus stops.
The problem is, was that ever done?
Then a problem is when that
we have the CEO.
And I'm not CEO.
We have compliance review.
I'm not compliance review.
We have audit reports.
And I'm not audit reports.
Some are implicating the staff.
And audit report the staff.
CEO have been found to be mismanaging in some areas. Some finances that cannot be explained. Did the council take a step against the CEO, in which case the ministry or the service commission did not act upon?
And CEO ministry council jël na step bi nga xam ne ministry bi wala keneen du mun a jël warugal ko.
Because remember, the first step is
the first step
the matter to be discussed at council level. Council passed a resolution. And then if you forward this resolution and there is no action, then you will say they did not do what they are supposed to. They are frustrating us.
Nena boba mun nga wax ne ñoom lu ñu war a def defuñ ko léegi loolu tax na ba yéen a ngi frustrate.
But did you take a step, for example, in relation to the procurement procedure that has been bypassed by the CEO?
Nena ndaa yow jël nga step yi nga xam ne procurement yi nga xam ne ni ngeen war a koy ni mu waree yóbbu leen ko noonu da ngeen ko bypass te ku ko def mooy CEO.
Address the matter at council level.
Donc nga gis ne ngeen mën a dem si council level address matter bi.
And write to the commission.
Nena mu dal di ñëw si commission.
Is ever done?
Nena ndaa loolu mus na xew.
Definitely Opalolo Sunday Council.
We did more than that.
No, let's just focus on the compliance review.
Nena si compliance review bi nañ leeral.
29.
If you listen to me, you will know exactly what I'm going to say is inclusive.
No, I do. I'm sure you are all witnesses that could come here. They have the absolute. They are never censored in responding to questions.
You are?
All the witnesses that come here are always given time to respond. The mayor herself knows that when she's explaining, we give her time. But I am asking a specific question. That, for instance, the issue of procurement. Let's say we have the 2019 report.
For instance, 2019 report.
The Gambia Public Procurement Authority.
The Gambia Public Procurement Authority
did a review.
Definitely review
for the year 2019.
Where I have 2019.
And they came up with a report. And in that report, there are so many violations.
Now
I had discussed that with the CEO. He accepts this violation. Let's say at least more than 90%. Now we want to know how the CEO was checked in his powers. Did the council review this compliance review for GPA?
And they can review this financial.
The 2019, was it reviewed at council?
Then 2019, they can go review the council. They can focus to set go.
Now, when
yes, I think I told you that when this time came,
they could discuss.
We used to discuss about it.
Could discuss it page by page, huh?
If we don't discuss it page by page,
the next what time?
We will talk about it.
So indeed, what time mentioned?
Oh, indeed, we have discussed about it.
Can we have the minutes of the General Council?
Then minutes General Council.
Dinner said minutes. I don't know. General Council like what time?
I will check the minutes, but I don't know exactly what General Council was discussed.
And come to my General Council.
As I said, whenever we go to the General Council, I will be able to inform them that this has
that particular thing you refer to.
And that particular thing that I refer to.
Discuss this complaints in you.
It will be the agenda or the forum that I have discussed with him about the complaints coming in.
And we did even more than that. So you had the task force with
if you could remember, I told you that we have initiated a task force.
Yes, we'll come to that at some point. We have it as part of the items to discuss. Now, can you provide us with the minutes of meetings that we discussed 2019 compliance review?
Then 2019 meeting become the definite compliance review
I don't know exactly compliance review or whatever look to the way I'm from that law then could discuss the council.
I don't know how they name it, whether compliance review or something, but I know that that is something that I've been discussed with.
The contents of the compliance review. For instance, the content of the compliance review for the year 31st December 2019.
Then at 2019, very December, and our contents review.
The council should discuss this.
Then a council
and ask questions to the CEO. Ask questions to the CEO.
Then I like the CEO, I like that.
So that the problems that arose can be fixed, and the subsequent years coming, you won't have the same. So it appears as if council did not discuss this compliance, address all of these issues. Let me ask the same question to the CEO. Were you called at council level to address the compliance review for 2019?
No.
Now, were you called to address the compliance review for 2020 by council?
No.
2021?
We never had a session based on procurement council.
Now,
and I think
go ahead.
And I think what was discussed was the fact that we still did not have an SP.
Okay.
And the fact that we have written to the local government service commission to kind of speed up.
Yes, to speed up the necessary
process of
vacancies.
Bringing in.
Yes. Your evidence and the evidence of the mayor on that is already taken. Now back to the mayor. See, the CEO has said openly now that council never invited him to answer questions in relation to this compliance. Is there any reason why that is the case?
Why man different at CEO?
But I don't think I have said something that is different from what you have said.
Take the compliance itself. This is our agenda.
Do you not think please proceed? No, please proceed.
Why didn't I'm law have the head na move for severe complaints show you, queries show you?
Maybe possible that these queries are in the said compliance review.
Then we could discuss.
We'll discuss about it.
Do you not think that when an audit report comes or when the compliance reviews come every year, you as council should go through it and address the issue?
Nena ba foog ne yow at bu nekk wala jamono boo xam ne review bi ñëw na wala nekk na loo xam ne leneen lu dem ci gouverneur bu ñëw sax boobu ab ko war nga pour nga seet ko nga toog nga dem si biiram mën a xam lan lañ wax wala lan lañ fa bind. That is true. This is why I said we used to advertise it. Itemizing. Whenever it comes, we copy it.
Yes.
We pass it to all councils, serve it to all councils. Whenever we go for council meeting, everybody or each of us will ask CEO whatever you. Why CEO Maneli Hamustahel? I cannot be able to talk for him because he's sitting.
Should be free enough to say whatever you want to say, however you understand it, because there are some where you have done things right, we will tell you. Where you have done things wrong, we will tell you.
Then I feel like hamne bukan ako hamne ini bukan ako nena feel kamu nggak free now. Lebih hamne linga def anda yon na mo alu anu tak yon ni.
And you have been cooperative.
Nena it's not a danga bola lang. I think what I wanted to say, what CEO have said is only said because CEO already said the book did it. It was not taken to council.
He's trying to say,
my understanding of what he is trying to say is that
the query was table on council.
That the bill was not placed or tabled at council level.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is,
as an agenda item at the council.
It was not tabled there at council as an agenda item.
Why?
But all the councils were cutting and given to you. So they will come and ask CEO about what about this.
You mean individually when they see him?
Then allow me.
Is that what you're saying? They will see him and then ask questions.
Then allow. Yeah, whenever they come to council.
No, but he is saying.
Now
he's saying
nena CEO mom legi lu mo wax moy
he has never been called
nena mom musuñ ko
to answer questions regarding this.
dem tontu wala laajte ko ay kaddu yu mel ni
So, do you not think
nena kon si biir loolu nda xalaat lo wala fogaloo de
that the right thing to do is to get this example compliance review, place it to as an agenda item and discuss it?
nena lu war moy item bi ngeen tek ko ci kanam ñi yépp ngeen discuss ko ci council
Get him to be summoned by council because you have those powers
nena
as council.
nga gis ne yow sa boppa nga dal ko o sa mom ko parce que am nga doole ko fi council
And then ask him questions
nga dal di ko laajte tamit yu nga am ne dafa war laajte
so that he will give answers.
nena kon nga gis ne ci biir laajte boobu moom tamit dana am lu moy tontu
So that council will have an informed position.
nena kon da nga gis ne council dañ fa am xibaar te nañ yegg mbir lu mel
Then you pass your resolution.
nena ci kaw loolu yow tamit nga dal di pass sa xalaat bi
That is what is supposed to be done, and that was not done.
nena li mo war li ngeen waroon a def te def leen
Do you understand?
nena leer na yes
Now, if that is not done,
nena loolu soo leen ko def
then the council itself
nena kon council si boppam
cannot supervise you
du la mun a supervise
as mayor
comme yow mayor
because the council supervises the mayor, in
nena
effect.
council moo dee supervise mayor
And the mayor
nena mayor
cannot supervise the CEO.
nena mu yow tamit doo mun a supervise
Now, if that is not done,
nena loolu su xewut wala su def leen ko
then we have the common problem with the ministry or, example, the service commission.
nena si kaw loolu kon da nga gis ne common problème boobu foofu mu xew si ministre bi wala si
Service commission.
service commission bi
Because then the idea that we write to the service commission, but then since we cannot punish the people we don't employ,
nena comme léegi idea bi nga xam ne wala xel bi nga xam ne boobu la ñu am ñu dal di bind ba pare nii ñi nga xam ne ñu fa duñ leen mun a punish parce que ñun employé leen
it will not rise
nena da nga gis ne loolu dugg na xew
because the council itself did not do what it's supposed to do.
parce que council si boppam lu ñu war a def ni ko
What it is supposed to do
nena lu ñu war a def
is to tell the CEO.
mu ne wax CEO ne
Let me give you an example.
nena léegi moo jox la benn exemple
In 2019, there was a number of 318 procurement process that was done.
nena hati 2019 am na process GPA process yi nga xam ne yu bëri ngeen war a def yu dem ba 318
There was no open tender.
nena benn si yooyu amul benn open tender
Copy. Please give the mail. There was no open tender.
nena amul si yooyu amul benn open tender bi ngeen def
There was only one restricted tender.
nena benn boobu rek moo feeñ foofu mooy restricted tender
$3,450,000.
3,450,000
$3,450,000. And single sourcing.
nena single sourcing
Turn to page 18.
nena demal page 18
Page 18.
page 18
Are we together?
yes
And single sourcing
nena single sourcing
is 266.
nena 266
If you have this in council meeting,
nena soo amee li si council meeting
you will see what GPA is saying.
nena da nga gis ci lu nekk di wax
Even if you're not an expert,
nena soo nekkul expert sax
if you read it,
nena soo ko jàngee
it says an analysis of the procurement on the various procurement methods indicates that most of the POs, as a procurement organization, that's BCC, procurement is carried out through a non-competitive method of single sourcing, none of which has been approved by the contracts committee in contravention of the law. Do you see that, Lord Mayor?
yes I do
Now, this tells you something is going wrong.
nena li moom xibaar bi mu laa leeral wala mu laa woon ne am na luy dox li nga xam ne warut
That the CEO
nena CEO si boppam
is ministering a method of procurement
nena mu ngi doxal méthode bi nga xam ne procurement ñoo ko war a doxal
that is totally wrong.
li nga xam ne loolu moom warut
Is that not the case?
nena mbaalu noonu yes
And it gives you an example.
nena su jee mu jox la exemple foofu
As a table below.
nena mooy soo seetee table bu nekk si ron
It says QuickBooks accounting software.
mu ne lu may wax mooy loolu fa bind mooy quick accounting software
There was a purchase of $266,000.
nena da ngeen ko jënd 260
$6,000.
$6,000.
$266,000.
$266,000.
It was done through single source.
And there
was no approval. And the process was not followed. Cost of swimming uniforms. Mansata Danso was paid $40,800.
And I figured for $40,800.
And the CEO adopted wrong procedure.
And the CEO procedure
I'm saying the CEO because he is the administration officer. I am saying whatever he has done down with his management, law is saying was wrong. You have the restructuring of the BCC, UXL group. UXL group were paid $382,500. $82,500. Again, wrong proceed. Air ticket to Nairobi. Cinderella travels. Were paid $276,768. $768,768. Again, wrong procedure. May you will see that's a list all the way down to the next page. All the way down to the next page. 21 transactions. They are only sampled transactions. It means there are many more transactions. All of this. No, the laws were violated. If you turn to page 19, it reads that the above mentioned procurements further revealed to the reviewer that the council had not fully adhered to the threshold of procurement method as provided for in this regulation. Furthermore, we observe that there was no justification for the use of single source. Now, have you seen this?
Yes, I do.
Now you go to the third point. It tells you that the Bassett Enterprise, which bidded for, which were given a contract for $662,000. $662,000. $156. This procurement was not done by the procurement unit. It says the invoices were collected by a group that visited Ostend with the Lord Mayor. The people you went with to Ostend were the ones who were doing this procurement. Do you see that, Lord Mayor?
I don't think they made me.
Can you please read it again? Microphone, please.
As for the minutes of the contract, okay. Furthermore, the procurement was conducted by individuals outside the procurement unit. The contract was awarded to Bassett Enterprise at a bid price of $662,156. As per the minutes of the contract committee on the said procurement, the invoices were collected by a group that visited Ostend with the Lord Mayor,
Yes.
And we collected, maybe Mr. Batchily can help me with this.
Exactly.
To be quite honest, I cannot remember Mr.
It did not say you did the procurement yourself.
Yeah, but even to collect invoices, I want to know how.
Okay, this now the importance as to what we're discussing. It did not say that you were part of the people that did the procurement. It did not say that you were aware of the group, your group that went to Ostend. It says it identified the group as being with you in Ostend. But when they came back, some of them were the ones who did the procurement. It did not say you were aware of it.
nena wax ne yow sa bopp yëg na ko wala yaa ko def nena lu may wax fi mooy ñi nga xam ne groupe bi nga àndal dem hostel bi ngeen ñëwaatee bi ngeen wàññeekoo fii ñoo nekkoon di doxal lépp li nga xam ne mu liggéey procurement.
It didn't say you yourself took part.
nena wax ne yow sa bopp bokk nga wala def nga dal.
And so we are going strictly by what it says.
nena dañoo toppa lu ñu wax li nga xam ne kat.
If it had said you took part in this procurement,
nena su fekkee ne tuddoon nañ la ne bokk nga si mbir mi.
I would have told.
nena dina la ko wax.
That in fact is not the topic now. We had already asked this to the CEO.
nena lii moom nekkul topic léegi lii moom laajte nañ ko CEO.
The issue is if the mayor and if the council were doing their oversight function, if the mayor and council were performing their oversight function,
nena su fekkee ne mayor ak council ñu ngi doxal li nga xam ne loolu moo war si ñoom seen function bi.
if you had reviewed this,
nena su fekkee ne seet nga li.
would you not have known this before?
nena ndax dafa nekk loo xam ne doo ko teel a yëg.
Because
Yes.
With council.
by the manufacturer, why
I forget. But
you say I Mansata done so?
yeah.
DNA fee is la hamne.
When I saw Master Danso and others, at the time I know that.
There actually management, etc. and so forth.
Yes.
The issue of these people, namely Malik Mendy and others.
I can't know whether this was when the CEO brought this to my office or we said this in council. Why we must like over time?
But we have ever discussed about this.
Now, do we have the minutes for that?
Say,
Then I'm minutes of it.
that's why when I remember,
I cannot remember.
I find out.
I have to go and find out.
As I said, these are not like we come to council and said, okay, Gambia Procurement Authority queries as an agenda. I'm not the next time we have this, I'm going to put it there black and white as an agenda. But
I know the next time we have this, I'm going to put there black and white agenda.
could they copy your council
As far as it is copied and it is served to each of the council. The councillors will post questions. This one will ask questions, and each of them will have his own question.
And you are right.
And you are right that
Now have been a topic.
it would have been a topic.
Because this person enterprise Magisni,
Because this person enterprise that I saw here,
I don't know how many years is it.
I even don't know who are they.
Now, in 2020,
Then until 2020,
same problem persisted.
then when a problem break, more continue.
The same problem persisted. So we give you guys a pass in 2019.
Then I don't pass 2019.
You were perhaps still learning, or the council itself was still learning how to handle this matter.
Then I will council will
20.
Then I went at 2020.
Same problems.
Then I better problem we continue.
What you say now is the issue.
Then I legi yow lan nga ñu mëna wax ne loolu moo tax.
Depends. 2019 report.
As I said before, the 2019 report
2018.
is a document of 2018.
And the whole of 2019.
Then the whole of 2019.
And the whole of 2019 as well. It says for the year ended in 2019.
And the year ended 2019.
So yes, you are right.
And
2018 will be there.
2018 then about.
And for the entire 2019 as well.
2019 be from door.
You understand?
Yes.
Now the question now, the issue now is,
Then I legi
fast forward 2018, 2019.
2018, 2019.
We have 2020. In 2020,
And I had it 2020.
the procurement total for the year is 21 million. That was reported.
Nena lo hamne total deposit bi nga hamne report nañ ko moy 20 million
21 million
21 million
152,000
150,000
152,000
$150,890.
$890. The same problems.
And our better problem
It tells you again,
and a belly mulayagal
Mr. Bachili and his team down
and a bachely acting amne team and benune as
disregarded procurement process.
and a top on procurement process with it.
You have 368 transactions.
Nena amna 368 transactions.
No open tender.
No open tender.
Only one restricted tender.
Nena ben restricted tender la ñu am.
The rest were mainly single source.
Nena lepp lu des yow yépp ay single source.
And it was flagged.
Nena te loolu dañ ko wone.
In the same month. GPPA said.
Nena GPPA no li lañ wax ne.
Do we have the 2020 report that the procurement was carried out through a non-competitive process?
Nena
the procurement was carried out.
Procurement bi moom niñ ko yóbbu mooy.
Was through a non-competitive process.
Nena nekk na loo xam ne yóbbuñ ko ci benn competition.
Please turn to page 15.
Nena demal page 15 fukk ak juróom.
Are you there with me?
Yes.
It says an analysis of the procurement under the various procurement methods indicates that most of the procurement is carried out through a non-competitive method of single source, none of which has been approved by the Contracts Committee in contravention of Section 49 of the C of the Act. And when you look at the table, it says the table below shows some of the procurements conducted using single source without prior approval from the authority.
Nena soo seetee si table bu nekk si loolu lu mu wone mooy am na yi nga xam ne da ngeen ko doxal si single source te am na benn approval from the authority.
ABM Association.
ABM Association.
5,200 face masks.
5,200 face masks.
The amount $156,000.
Mooy njëg bi mooy $156,000.
You have the hire of bulldozer.
Nena lu waase bulldozer.
$150,000.
$150,000.
The list goes on and on and on.
Nena mbir bi nii la continuer nii la demee.
So to the second page, you will see again.
Nena soo demaatee si beneen page.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Nena hundreds of thousands of dollars.
By way of sampling.
Nena te loolu sampling la.
So we can say in the millions.
Nena soo seetee si bit ko ay millions la.
Without following any procurement process.
Nena li nga xam ne dépense bi kenn follow wala topp leen sa process bi wala yoon.
Should it be this way, Lord Mayor?
Nena lii moom da ngeen ko war a dismiss.
I'm asking the mayor whether it should be this way.
Nena mbaa nii la war a demee nii yoon bi la war a mbir mi nii la war a demee. No.
Now, we blame the CEO.
Nena waaye ba léegi CEO la ñu xas.
For his blame. His blame has. But
Siga.
For his part.
Nena si booram.
Now, if you look at the wordings of the GPPA.
Nena soo gisee GPPA seen kaabi wala seen wording si duñ ko tëralee.
It did not mention the CEO. It did not mention the CEO.
Nena waxam turu CEO de.
It says council.
Ñu ne council.
It repeats the word council.
Nena ñu bantuwaat ko ñu ne council.
That council did not adhere to so and so.
Nena waaye council ñooñu toppuñ ñu wax ne ndaki la ndakale.
Council did not do so and so and so.
Wala council defuñ lii ak lii ak lii.
Why do you think it mentions council and not CEO?
Nena lan nga foog wala loo foog ne waxuñ turi CEO waaye ñu daal di wax affaire council. Turu CEO ñu daal di turu council. Maybe they think that we are the oversight
yes.
body.
But are you the oversight body?
Then you are oversight body. Yes.
And so there's failure. There's BCC failure.
Then according to the BCC said failure.
Comme li ma la wax rek nekkul ne every day la di nekk ci administration bi di liggéey ak ñoom.
As I told you, Council, I told you that it's not every day I stay at home with them.
Yes.
Some of these things,
Audit report ñëwut.
if we don't have the audit report
Or lu mel nii.
or something of this kind,
daf di naxari.
it will be difficult for me to be aware of it.
And as you said.
And as you said,
the only fault here mooy ne.
the only
fault.
Oh, the only fault is that
mooy waroon nañ ko def agenda item.
that we supposed to make it an agenda item.
Scrutinize ko.
Scrutinize it
from A to Z.
From A to Z.
Why pour one ne danga supervise council?
But to say I will supervise council.
Every day you need to know what lu ñoo def.
Every day you need to know what they are up to or what they are doing.
Loolu daf dee jafe.
That will be difficult.
And this is why the committees are there.
While committees are there,
We'll engage them
to engage them.
You see, it is not supposed to be every. Some things will escape you as you have said. In fact, to be fair with you, many things may escape you. But now, if they escape you, you have audit that is supposed to provide a quarterly report. You have the compliance reviews coming supposedly every year. You have national audit, at least bring in audit reports or management audit reports every year as well.
National audit yi nga xam ne léeg-léeg dañ la day jox report yi nga xam ne yu mbiri sa liggéeykaay bi wala di ngeen war a liggéey bi ni mu demee.
Even where there are delays,
even am na yoo xam ne tardement am na.
that will be their fault.
Loolu dina nekk ñoom seen.
Once these are received,
waaye soo demee ba jot yi.
council must on it.
Council war nga naa def dara si kaw loolu.
What we have seen
waaye ñun lañu gis mooy.
is council is failing to act on this.
Council dañu fail trop jël action si kaw lii.
Lead council.
Lead council.
Hamna bena li muno na nyaka answer so fekone the capacity is there.
This supposed not to have, if at all, definitely there is capacity.
Which capacity is that?
There's only capacity, not for capacity.
Tudagafi, a very important office.
You call a very important office here.
The internal audit.
That is the internal audit. And that too is something that disturbed us a lot.
And so what they mean is audit reports.
And if you go through our audit reports,
national audit
you'll see that the national audit have complained that a long time.
Structure vitamin is not very strong.
And the structure too, if at all the structure is not very strong, that too will make difficulties for our.
Because
because we have certain things like this one. I know before we get to this, then the internal audit must flag it.
And the internal audit and flag some issues.
Internal audit go on it.
But for let's just say for any report that you have not received, because it is not prepared, and the council had demanded that it be prepared, then to a certain extent, council will have at least try to do their job. But the reports I am addressing now are ones that have been prepared and submitted to councils. Council have access to it. You have told the commission that even the various councils will have a copy. Then for those ones, there are no excuses. Council cannot give a reason as to why they did not act upon it. Do you agree with that?
Table it, but itemize like what times?
Yes, I said we have itemized it and we have discussed about it.
Let me ask you on that. Can you tell the commission for all the problems that are being addressed by or raised by this compliance review? Any of the items. Can you provide us with evidence of its thorough discussion at council? And the decision taken there.
Every item.
Any. I said any.
Not any item.
I'll go back.
I have to go back to the minutes.
Check.
And check.
Why money
but I don't think that we must have it.
This problem, not major. This problem.
Then a problem is,
like I said, never stop. Kept on continuing. year by year, every single time, there are serious and similar violations. So where is the problem?
That is true, lead council.
This is admin administration.
As I said earlier on, this is the work of the administration.
Yes, and to make sure, right, said to make sure they follow procurement process. I agree with you on that process. Where they fail to follow procurement process, you and council now have an obligation to make sure that which is being done cannot repeat the following year. Is that not the case? So Mr. Bachili as CEO failed every single year. He failed to follow procurement regulation.
Mr. Bachili procurement do
you agree with that?
Wow.
Yes. The mayor and council failed every year.
And the mayor and council they fail every year
by making sure these problems are not repeated. Because the same problems that are repeated every year. Whatever the explanation is, whatever the reason is, the council and the mayor also failed to make sure to address this procurement that are also agree.
Yes.
Now we go to another issue. Unless there are questions.
In addition to the issue of procurement, question is to Mr. Bachili. My question is to Mr. Bachili. Mr. Bachili, you recall that you were issued with the audit report for the Austin project, right?
Yes.
And you made some responses in that audit report, right?
Yes.
However, the findings in the audit report, just in relation to lack of following, the lack of the fact that the council did not follow due process in the financial transactions. The audit report at page 45, it findings stated that the bank statements shows that contracts awarded to various suppliers, contractors, amounting to 31,156,547.12 were not kept on file and could not be provided to the auditors, despite repeated requests to the finance manager. Right? And an analysis was drawn in relation to issues contained therein. If you look at the auditor's comment, they highlighted some transactions which, at the same time, the audit report for the year ending 31st December 2019 and 2020 at page 61, it shows that there were some procurements that were done, and these were the same procurements that were repeated in this audit report for the Austin project. So which means these documents were not tabled and discussed to look at what the problems were, to avoid them, because it clearly indicated that triple expenditures were made on issues that have been highlighted, in fact, in other reports. Why is that the case?
Okay, first of all, I want to make it clarity. Because with regards to the finalization of the audit queries, in terms of the management responses,
Yeah.
I was not in town.
You were not
It had already been posted.
for
Yes.
all of the for the report dated the 9th of September 2024.
Pardon?
The report, the reference I have made
Yeah.
is the management letter for the audit of EU project Austin for the period 1st January 2020 to 31st of April
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
And I assume that prior to them writing the final letter, they normally write to you and send you these queries for you to respond.
Yes.
So it is after they have given you opportunity to respond and you fail to respond that they finally write their final audit letter indicating what they have and what they have received after you understand they have written to you. So you are saying when they wrote to BCC, you were not there for this audit report?
For the draft,
Which draft?
you know, the first draft, they bring a draft copy,
Yes,
and then the management will look at it and then respond.
yes.
And then it's on that basis that they will send you a final draft so that you respond to it. That's what I'm saying. Getting
What
to
I'm reading is the final draft. So when they sent the first draft,
yes,
you were not at the office.
the final draft. That's the time I'm
First,
okay. When they send the first draft, yes, we have seen it.
you've seen it.
We have seen the first draft.
That's why
Yes,
in this final draft,
yes,
there are some portions where there is a response.
yes. Yeah, but
Which means you have been given the opportunity to look at the first draft.
yeah, I concur. I seen the first draft, but
Yes.
then
This first draft not table at council
yes,
response because um, we could recall that the mayor has been saying, you understand, she gets to know only what she is told. And I'm beginning to believe that, you understand, you as a seasoned CEO ought to have been guiding the mayor because she doesn't know these instruments. And for her to appreciate these instruments is for you to write and inform her the import of these instruments and why she should comply with these instruments. Is that not the case?
that should be the case here.
Yes. So why didn't you send this report, this draft that was sent to you? Why was it not discussed at council?
The draft was not discussed at council.
So why didn't you request for this to be discussed at council? Because you have to discuss this in council. Because these projects were executed on behalf of beneficiaries where these councillors are elected.
Yes,
Yes,
but normally, if you have the draft,
yes,
if you have the draft, normally
yes,
we first have to look at the contents of the draft
yes,
as a management.
yes,
What does it say?
yes.
Okay, but then I would also take the opportunity to explain to you for your information and for that of the commission that with the with the project the findings which have not been substantiated because either the auditors were not given access to certain very important documents. That's part of the issues surrounding the draft when it came.
That they said what?
That some of the findings were not substantiated. They were not given relevant documentation for them to make up their opinions, and that has happened. In fact, recently we just from the FPAC with regards to the same. Okay, what I'm just saying here is you were saying you're talking about certain findings that they made and why they were not discussed at the council level. There, I agree with you that it was not taken to the council for discussion. Yeah, because it was looked upon by the management. But then the auditors were not given access, and for one reason or the other, they are not given access to relevant information that should have featured even in the draft.
Virtually, it is your job to make sure that they give them access to have the documents because you are the head of finance and this is a joint project. Is that not the case?
No, I think there's something else in the sense that when
Because we are not there and we have the opportunity to know. And when we ask the mayor, she doesn't know.
that's the way I'm explaining more.
Yes, let it.
When the yeah, when the auditors came
Yes,
for like an introduction meeting,
yes.
we had an introduction meeting with them with regards to the commencement of the exercise. And as the management, we had appointed somebody to be the focal point for them.
Yes,
We had appointed somebody
yes,
who was the former director of finance.
yes.
We appointed him to be the individual who will be helping them in terms of the delivery of documents.
At the at the um at the entry meeting,
And things would here were there.
um, can you tell us who was present at the entry meeting?
At the entry meeting, myself, the mayor was there, the director of finance was there, the the director of planning, yes, an acting admin director, for them to introduce the fact that they're going to start their auditing exercise. So,
These people you mentioned, are they not staff of the BCC?
yeah, they're staff of the BCC.
Or were they giving leave of absence that you cannot access them?
No, I mean, we're all there when they came for the meeting, for the introduction.
Okay, you can proceed to explain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then, as a management, we appointed the director of finance to be their focal point. And this is written form. We had written that he should be the individual that would be helping them.
So what was the problem for them not to have access to the documents?
They were not shown some of these documents.
They were?
They were not shown some of the documents that they requested at the time.
Job, because you were not getting the information that we were supposed to get in the first place in terms of reports.
Yes.
How the projects were being run. And this is why the audit has said that over 31 million cannot be accounted for because they have not seen documentation.
That's exactly what I'm coming to.
Yes.
For them, they made it very clear that this is what happened because they were not shown certain documentation, which were readily available
So
at the project site.
What administrative measure did you take to make sure that the focal person is made to take the necessary action to provide them with the documents? What did you do?
We got to discover this discrepancy when they sent the finance.
Then now, what did you do? Because now they have
the final draft.
They cannot have access. What did you do? What did you take as? What step did you take as the head of the unit?
When it came to our attention, myself and the management, that this is what happened. Some of the important documentation that they had requested for were not given to them. Was the time in which they got in the final draft.
No, that is. I'm asking. I asked you a direct question. I said, when you knew that they could not have access to these documents,
yes,
what steps did you take for that problem to be addressed?
That's what I'm saying. At that juncture, when the final draft came, then I had left subsequently for postings. But the fact that it was not discussed at the
time did you discover? At what time did they tell you? Did they tell you via writing that they could not have access to the documents? Or they spoke to you verbally?
No, they did not. But as a management, when we saw some of the queries that were continuously coming, that's the time we started discovering that maybe they might not have been given the right documentation. That's the reason why they're repeating it.
So when you discovered that at management level,
yes,
at the meeting,
yes,
what step did you take prior to you leaving for posting?
I did not take any specific steps. It was.
That is what I wanted. So, Honorable Mayor, you wanted to say something? Yes.
Ma, Banjul City Council foog naa bëgg na CEO mu open up tuuti rek problem bi am Banjul City Council mooy
Banjul City Council, we have some constraints of which I just want to tell you. We have lack of discipline.
ñàkk respect these offices authorities yi nii.
Lack of respect for the authorities.
ñoom i neen kii du wax ak kii CEO du wax ak finance director.
They themselves do not talk to
moo audit la.
the CEO will not talk to finance, not talk to audit.
So auditors si suñ ñëwee I don't know whether I was in the entry meeting. I remember foog naa si exit meeting bi laa ne.
I can remember, if I can remember well, at the exit meeting,
waaye ñi su ñëwee Banjul City Council dañ dee sonna.
whenever they come to Banjul City Council, they feel difficulties, a lot of difficulties.
Camara mu nga jël kay jëli nobale.
Camera will chip some of the documents.
Because mu ne auditor bi mo waxa mo waxuta mo wax he was rude to him.
We said that when the auditor was talking to him, he was rude to him.
Lu tax CEO bi ko auditor bi laajee lii moom mu ñëw waxa moom.
Why CEO, when the auditor asked him, the CEO did not come and talk to him.
These are the frustration national audit ñu ma dégga.
These are the frustrations we have. The national auditor hearing me.
Bi ñoo am suñ exit meeting bi.
Let me just come at this point. Now, at this point, who do you think you should blame? Because if the CEO has nothing to hide, is not complicit in any activity, do you think he should have allowed them to get to that level?
Ma CEO mu ngi nii man dama ko fenal.
CEO, I will not tell lies against him.
Dama ko waxal ba sonna moom si boppam.
I told him for a long time until I get tired.
Lii tey toog fii tey moom waru ko bett sax.
Now, for sitting here, I should not be surprised about it.
Many times I'm ko de waxal CEO daf leen di waxal respectuñ ko duñ ko déglu sax.
Many times I talk to him and CEO used to talk to them, but they don't respect him. They don't even listen to him.
Te am na ko toog fii mu ne.
And somebody was seated here and said so that
Man maay gaynde bi si council bi.
lion at council.
CEO toog na fi mu ne béppalum dee daf ma ko dee wax.
And CEO sit here and say whatever he does, he used to inform me.
Waaye soo ma mu ne may benn 2 minutes.
But if you can be able to allow me just 2 minutes.
Please go ahead.
Ma ronal la down yena things loo xam ne rek.
I just wrote down some of the things.
Yoo xam ne dee ba dama tëdd rek ma xalaat leen.
Because yesterday when I lie down, I was thinking about them.
Bi Camara di suppress suñ revenue bi.
When Camara was suppressing our revenue,
Musuma ko yëg.
I have never been aware.
Si mbedda bi laa ko yëgee.
I only became aware on the road.
Ma oo ko moom CEO ak ñeneen meeting.
I called him CEO and others for a meeting.
Li ñu fa wax.
What we said there,
Ak disrespect bi daf ba match out ci suma office man.
the disrespect he did to me, especially in my office.
Di toog.
CEO is just sitting here.
Te bi Hadijatou Jambang toogee fii.
And the Hadijatou Jambang, when she was here, she have explained what had happened there.
Wax naa leen fi bi moo indi saab si yëguma ko.
I told you people here that when he brought SAPs, I was not aware.
Loon yim doon jëlal boppam Camara every week mu jël loon.
Every week he will take loans.
The same loan yooyu moom laa jox internal auditors.
And the same loans that the one is issued to or give to the internal audits.
Moom laa all councillors di leen ko def.
The same loan is the one he used to call councillors and give issued loans to them.
Dégg naa fi councillor bu tudda firi loan.
I had a councillor call talking about a loan.
Yëgaluñu.
I was not aware. I was not even informed.
Te loolu su fekkoon ne ñëw audit report.
And if at all that does not have flat on the audit report,
Ko yëg.
100 years I would not be aware.
Ñu jël di luwel boppam moto.
And the monies he used to take and rent vehicles.
Calculate mu ne mayor bi essence am bi 15 times 12 times 36.
He was calculating here that the mayor petrol of fuel is 15 times. I cannot even know exactly what he was saying.
Waaye bi moo xaalis mu doon jël di rental boppam moto te kenn yëgu ko.
But the monies he was using to hire vehicles and nobody was aware of it.
CEO mu ngi nii ndax man mos naa ko yëg.
CEO is here. Whether I have ever been aware of it. It's the exit meeting.
Si la ma national audit waxee most.
That was the time the national audit informed me about these things.
Camara bés boobu dafa match out si kanami ñooñu.
That day, Camara march out in their present.
Revenue bi bi mu ko doon égal suñ revenue bi.
The revenue, when he was increasing the revenue,
Suñ rate si la doon égal baan.
because it was the race that he was, making the plan.
Ma oo CEO Maneko.
I called the CEO.
Camera Munuta Yokareti Bandu, these are gazetted.
And said to him, Kamara cannot be able to increase the rates. These are gazetted things.
The no on the fame way.
And the way he was doing it was
Mr. A, so I make it up.
Mr. A uses property.
Mr. A, mom kirby.
The Mr. A owns the property
I'm biti chibi kirby.
and have a shop inside the compound.
Mr. A already kirby, say commercial.
And
By the city council.
Mr. A is paying commercial to Banjul City Council.
So what bitik became rent.
And the owner of the shop that he rented the shop to.
Go to Banjul City Council, more expect more trade license.
And what Banjul City Council expect from that shopkeeper is the trade license.
Camera neglected.
Camera said no.
Bitik.
You go back to the shop
Commercial rate.
and say to that shopkeeper to pay commercial rate. When this row came to me,
My CEO.
I called the CEO and informed him.
CEO of small office.
CEO called him in my office. Camera said no, he resisted that should happen. I said to him that this one, if you don't stop it, I will mobilize the whole Banjul and they come out and find you here. That is how I fought with Camera. Unless up to the time he stopped that talk.
So you yep one
All of those things I had informed him. I said he's fully new because he brought SAPs.
So the what I use revenue.
So you want to use the people of Banjul, you saw him that he's increasing the revenue.
Trade license.
I told you that our trade license,
Business people they don't know
the business people were coming to me. If you feel like when you are called Fatu, he will just reduce your license. If you are called Modu, he will increase. I told him that cannot be possible. I called the CEO and I informed him.
Madam Chair, those have very
CEO called him.
from allegations. Lord Mayor, may I take over? You have proof that?
Then I'm going to prove you.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Okay, provide us with every proof you have.
Then I'm going to
That you have, Madam Mayor. The fact that I may not blame you on that aspect.
Then I'm going to blame you.
In the morning session,
Then I
we have read a letter
then I jangan ang letter.
Where you wrote to the CEO.
Bigam na jangan ako the CEO.
But the CEO has been asked whether he replied to that letter.
Then the CEO then wala na letter go with the reply.
He did not reply to.
Then I don't go to reply.
And you ended up making verbal discussion.
Then I lingam mi jewon nga ako wala nga dem tok wax
issues that are very pertinent. Issues that have pertinent consequence on the administration of the country. Things that you discussed verbally.
Madam Chair.
Please provide.
He's the one having the documents.
Mr. Batchily, can you provide us with the documents? Please note it. The mayor said you have the documents.
Can you? Okay.
What she has just said.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Would you give me the opportunity to get back to the issue of the audit report of the project?
Yes.
Kindly.
Yes.
Okay, I want to call to your attention.
Yes.
As the chairperson of the commission.
Yes.
Which is of course a very important body looking into the affairs of the council.
Yeah.
That we have just concluded sessions with the FPAC.
Yes.
And I think equally to this commission should be in line with those recent developments, especially relating to some.
Can you please repeat?
Especially, what I'm saying is that we should also be able to relate to you and your commission such very important developments.
Yes.
Because at the time in which external auditors went to the project, to do their audit. I would want to insist that there have been some developments that I think as a commission too, you should be able to be aware of. And I think it's very important.
Yes, Mr. Batchelly, you are the one that is sitting on the chair. We are asking you questions.
Yeah.
And these are questions related to facts we've read in other reports.
Yeah.
And if there are new developments, we will highly welcome whatever new development that you have to discuss on these issues, to highlight, to either reaffirm or rebut what they have said, or to provide new evidence so that we can have better clarity as to what the issues are. Failing which, we cannot, because if we don't have the evidence, if no counter evidence is provided, it will be very difficult for us not to make, you understand, for us not to draw our assumptions and conclusions on certain issues. So I believe that we are giving you the opportunity now, since you said there are new developments. Please provide us, whether it is in writing, whether it's oral, you understand, you are welcome to discuss these issues.
Thank you.
Because we are the ones that are asking you questions on these reports, which are so damning and which we want answers, because the money is involved and taxpayers' money.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Council?
Yes, just briefly back to the mayor's issue with camera before I proceed to other issues. Mr. Bojang, saying I'm coming back to the mayor's comments with respect to Mr. Kamara.
léegi comme lu mooy def mooy tu delloo si comment bi nga xam ne wala kàddu yi nga xam ne wax nga ko fii ci kaw Mr. Camara wala mbiri Mr. Camara.
So again, Mr. Kamara as a finance director
ba léegi de Mr. Camara comme mooy finance director
also been found wanted
nee na moom tamit de gis nañ am na loo xam ne def na ko
in relation to bypassing accounting policies,
nee na te soo ko seetee mooy am na yoon yi nga xam ne jël na ko te topp account
violating regulations.
mu ne àndut ak loi bi tamit.
But the issue regarding the rates,
nee na waaye soo seetee loo mbir mi nga xam ne dem na si mbiri rates yi mooy employé.
his evidences
nee na moom wone bi nga xam ne def na ko fi.
that there were most of these compounds were undervalued.
nee na am na yoo xam ne moom lu mu wax fii mooy am na kër yi nga xam ne fii ñooñu duñ ko wax mooy undervalued.
He believes
nee na moom gëm na ne.
that you don't want them to be paying the normal rates because of the IO people.
nee na yow moom lu mu la wax mooy yow bugguloo pour ñoom ñu fay li nga xam ne loolu moo war parce que lu tax loolu mooy ñooñu sa nit ñi la.
And as finance director,
nee na te moom finance director la.
he thought it was his responsibility to come up with the accurate figure that they should pay.
nee na moom foog naa ne loolu waru nga la pour mu mën a taxaw mu wax ñaata la ñuy war a fay wala mu génne li nga xam ne loolu mooy accurate war a fay.
I think you've heard him say that if you have listened to his testimony.
nee na su fekkee ne yaa ko di déglu nee na mën na nekk foog naa ne dégg nga lu wax.
What is your reaction to that?
nee na loo am tontu si loolu.
dégguma la because ma doore di déglu commission bi yàggut.
I don't hear because the time I started listening or following the commission was not a very long time. I don't have of you that.
No, that's Mr. Kamara's.
Then I can't do Mr. Kamara. But what I want to elaborate here is who am I
Cassette, you know,
to cassette that
Mr. A Kiram,
Mr. A's property
500 dollars.
he should supposed to pay.
But I can say the same thing too.
So
I can also say, who am I to say that Fatu should pay less, Amadou should pay more?
Then a moment I'm going to lulu come more cat to a low ne fat one pay.
When it is connected.
Amadou pay everybody.
I don't think it's time right. For now, man, don't understand.
I don't understand it very well. I think what I understand is that Mr. Kamara said.
And then Mr. Kamara Mune,
He said that.
dafa feel ne kër gi dafa war a fay more than li mu war a fay.
Less than.
Less than.
Dafa war a fay less.
Yes.
Yes.
They were undervalued.
Dina undervalue mooy dafa war a fay li nga xam ne less.
Li cancel.
Need cancel.
Ñun amuñ right to value.
We don't have right to value.
Man depuis ñun bu ñëwee cancel ba tey ñu ngi try pour yokk suñu rate si mënuñ ko.
Since I came to council till date, I'm trying to increase my bill, but I cannot. Yeah.
value those compounds.
We don't have the authority to value those.
He believes.
Then that is not what he will do. That is what is in the message.
True.
Then
Say the leader going to charge 1,000.
if he believes that this person's property should be charged 1,000,
100.
but the law said no 500. That is printed by you. I can give you a simple example that makes me angry, but I cannot do anything. Every day I complain until one day the minister asks me whether I have an issue with him. That's the mall in Banjul that they used to say Banjul Mall.
It's about 4K or 5K. 4K or 5K.
4 or 5 compound.
Yes. So we are paying, for example, I'm just giving you an example.
And those
$100 per year.
those compounds or properties we are paying 500 per year.
So for many, it's like 5 compounds, we pay 2,500.
And it seems 5 compounds they are paying 2,500.
Multi-million business.
These are now multi-million business.
And still increase the rates because the government says
But still we cannot be able to increase the rate because the Gazette have indicated how much they're supposed to pay.
Whose role is it to manage and make decisions in relation to revenue collection?
Nena ko role kan la kinga amne mo muna manage program muna wata program just ne revenue bi di la ko raf.
Because I heard you say,
Because they can ne
because you don't agree with Mr. Kamara,
because you nangulo si Mr. Kamara.
you thought genuinely he was doing the wrong thing,
Nena yaw sa wopa di halat mo mungeda flow ne warut.
that you confronted him or the CEO.
Nena yaksi o gendal di ko confront.
No. You either confronted him, if I heard you well, or you confronted the CEO.
Nena yaw nga confront mo wala CEO nga confront.
And that you said you even mobilize the people.
Nena te nga ne yaw nga mobilize din.
No, that's why hear me. I'm repeating what I think I heard you say.
And
so you can tell us what you have said. You can always correct things. Did you not say that you had issues with Mr. Kamara? That you had to even confront him about the rates?
Yes, the rates is increased.
Did you not say when you were frustrated, you even had to tell him or the CEO that even if it means you mobilize the people of Banjul?
Then I was so frustrated. I'm CEO. They should have mobilized the Banjul.
But you make sure this thing will not happen.
Then unfortunately,
that's what I said.
Yes.
My point is, whose role is it?
Then a worker can more responsible and more role
in the administration. Manage the issues of rates and finance income. Is it not finance directors, no?
Manage the rates and finance income. Then I'm done with the finance director. No, what he's supposed to follow the Gazette, not what he think of.
But you see, this is where I have a problem with Philip Mail.
Then I leave let me feel it already.
In as much as we've done so many things in the right way.
Then I started to look at the
you've done so many things in the wrong way. Though you've admitted most of
it. Then I'm
now you are saying that because it is his role,
then
it doesn't mean he doesn't have to follow the law. And your problem was, that's why I said, I know you understand English and Wolof. But again, you can always ask and we repeat if you don't understand something. Let me take it again. You agree that it is a role of the finance director. Issues of revenue. But of course, it's the finance head.
Finance.
But then you are saying he has to follow the law. Did you not say that?
Yes,
And it's true. So where he does not follow the law, you have a problem with him. Correct?
Yes.
And that's true. But that is the supervisory role we are talking about, even though it was not done in the right manner. Okay. But then it shows that you understand that you are the overall supervisor of council.
Overall supervisor of
Station.
for administration.
And so, Mr. Kamara, as you have said, must follow the law. The same thing with Mr. Bachili. The same thing with his role as CEO. So many violations. Even the audit report mentioned Mr. Kamara and Mr. Bachili by name.
Audit report Mr. Kamara, Mr. Bachili.
So you should do the same thing. But where I think you are wrong with Mr. Kamara. So you don't address Mr. Kamara's issue by having the intention to deal with the people directly in relation to that. I said what advice, Mr. Bojan, but I don't know what you mean by the interpretation. What I'm trying to say is, if Mr. Kamara is not doing the right thing,
Mr. Kamara,
we discuss it in council. We call him.
We
ask him questions.
Pass
solutions. And we have effective administration. Do you not think that is the most effective way?
Very effective way.
Legal counsel.
Lead counsel, I agree.
Now, CEO.
I'm speaking not in the absence of the CEO, but his present.
So they don't know severe council bit. Almost every day, this time severe council bit, they complain you do here.
If I want to tell you, or if I tell you that every day people from Banjul, they come to council to me and complain a lot of things.
Mr.
Bakili knows something about it.
Is it possible? Is it possible that a lot of people can complain against Mr. Kamara or Mr. Bachili? But they are wrong. Also possible. But they are complaining. It's correct. It's not the case.
But I'm telling you the fact.
But I'm telling you
But the complaining is wrong. I am telling you, the people, they know that it's fairly to you.
I said people, whenever they said that rates, they came to me and they started complaining because the rates were gazetted.
No, what you don't understand is having the interest to solve a problem.
So I'm in a solve problem.
And solving it the right manner. It's different. You understand?
I understand.
The reason why I tell you what Mr. Kamara says, or what Mr. Bachili says, I will ask you the questions when you subsequently appear. Ask your procurement done by your office. We will ask you about Keba and Sons. You know all of this. Because you need an opportunity to respond. It's only fair that when they say ROHEY MALICK LOWE, the mayor did XYZ, we call you and we ask. People saying the finance director did something wrong. It's increasing the rates as opposed to the law. It can be true. It may be false. Must table the matter to council if the finance director is insistent. Council. There in council, as an agenda item,
agenda item.
To testify.
You
can summon him to produce all the collections for the month. Or for the quarter. You see the names. You look at the law. Evidence is clear. That is the best way. Council would have been in the position to tell the finance director that you took or you received from compound A $500. The law said it should be $300. It's very clear. That's my point. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
People themselves resisted. They didn't pay.
I don't deny what you are saying.
Right.
The people don't have the right in that manner. They complain to you, yes.
Lead council, I think you are getting
It's a kirgiyo. Your budget, you lead council.
Council.
Lua be $1,000
You pay $1,000.
Actually, you pay $1,500.
Why? Actually, say you pay $1,500.
And I don't pay.
You said no, you are not going to pay.
How do you solve problems as a mayor?
Should
it not be ultimately at council level?
I think I told you at the beginning that.
Because we live, we work as a family.
We work as a family.
So every talk council.
If I thought any small thing that they did, I take it to council. Then when I'm coming here, I have to talk to the small suitcase.
Just a small thing. This got you so angry. And rightly so. And rightly so. Because if you are the mayor of the people and they complain to you that the finance director is overcharging and then overvaluing properties. Angry if he does not want to comply. I am not saying Mr. Cameron did not do what you are alleging over the people alleged. We are saying Mr. Cameron should be called by council, addressed by council. If need be, if good resolutions be passed there. Because just like the CEO, there are grounds for removal. There are grounds for removal.
Yeah, I'm not having ground removal.
If he abuses his office,
then I saw second office warrant.
You pass the necessary resolution.
You pass necessary resolution.
So that we don't solve the problems in the unusual way. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now we have my problem with the council's management and procurement activities.
Council management and procurement
activities. Is that, for instance, even the 2021 audit report?
Report 2021, sir.
So many financial irregularities. Did you discuss at council level the 2021 audit report?
Yes, I said to you. Everybody will be served. Whatever doubt you have or any ambiguity, whenever there's a meeting, you can raise it up.
But that is the wrong process.
As you said, yeah, that is why I say so. Along the way, we are learning.
Malik is audit report new agenda item.
As now, whenever I got the audit report, it will be as an, I'll make it as an agenda item.
Not the new itemized.
Not that we are going to itemize it.
Because if you look at the 2021 audit report, 2021 audit report,
And associated 2021 audit report,
it tells you serious financial irregularities.
And I'm not your name all our you made it in Hamlin, see affair in the past while I'm hands
will bankrupt the area council.
Then I leave the Natabe area council with them bankrupt.
Any area council or any institution
Then I institution Buneka or area council Buneka.
don't stand a chance of surviving this financial irregularity.
Then I didn't know how this name would like do that to see the financial irregularity first of me.
Because the problems that are highlighted
Then a problem when I take the one and coffee
are so serious
then I you hotla.
that if every year it is not addressed,
Then as you so fair at Buneka while Lulu emot.
so all you hear
Then I left him
is from Bassett to Banjul
Then I joke ko Basebe Bagi.
is that we don't have enough funds.
You know how many has
We
good
don't have enough funds.
How many has
We
good
don't have enough funds.
How many has good
But then,
Why so for seven?
are you managing the funds that are available
Then
on a daily basis?
the has been having a forcing I'm going to go manage while I
That's the problem.
daily basis. Then I problem.
That's my concern.
Then I just come off my veru. While from my way.
Do you see my concern? Not?
Then I just have my way. Use the mic.
Yes.
Let me give you an example.
The one that you all have the example.
The 2020, do we have the 2021 report for the mayor's contraction? Extra copy? We don't have.
2020.
2020,
What?
2021.
What is
It's 2021 report. 2021, 2022. It says that, yes, 2021 and 2022. See, while we are checking it, Lord Mayor, the problem
Then a problem
is really diverse
Then a problem with the fire to
in all aspects of the management of our area council
Then
institution.
I become the management area council.
For instance,
Then I so said
Mr. Bachelor,
Then I Mr. Bachelor.
as CEO,
Come CEO.
if I were to rate him over 100, if I were to rate him over 10,
Then a mom should go great go 10 great 10.
even over 100,
Well, over 100.
you'll be less than 5.
Then I is not a mom is less than 5.
Yes.
Wow.
In fact, in all seriousness,
Then I so said
I will give him 0 over 100.
Then a mom didn't come back 0 over 100.
And so if I give Mr. Bachelor 0 over 100,
Then a lady Sukojo 0 over
2021, 2022, the national audit. And if I give Mr. Bachelor 0,
Then I so great is 0%.
I keep everyone 0.
Then I left 0 la
Because Mr. Bachelor can escape for 1 year and mismanage the funds of council.
Then Mr. Bashir Nanega for 1 year mismanaging funds council.
Whether it is pressure from the mayor,
Then that pressure la CCO.
or pressure from council,
That pressure be joge council.
or whosoever,
Then I'm kumuntaneka.
he has no right
Then I'm done warga.
to do to commit the finance of council,
Then I'm ne bi halis council.
the manner and way in which he.
Mudan to go dugal you should have ne mom ko buge.
But Mr. Bachelor
Then why Mr. Bashir?
cannot do this for more than 1 year.
Then Ali munu ko def nuko ko benaat.
Because if the council is effective,
Then so fekene council bi dafa nek council bu degge.
or the mayor or the chairperson or the mayors are effective,
Then mayo kaya passe so fekene dafa nek ko xamne dafa degge ci tawa.
the following year,
Then da ngay at muy ci topa.
they will address Mr. Bachelor,
Then I address Mr. Bashir dengan ko address.
have resolutions passed.
Da nga am auto solution yi nga xamne passe nañ ko ci.
So whosoever did not do their job,
Then kep ko xamne defut liggéeyam bu wat.
service commission maintain Mr. Bachelor,
Then service commission su fekkene dañ Mr. Bashir dañ ko maintain.
they will now be at the greatest responsibility.
Then kon da nga gis ne lepp li nga xamne tay dafa nek ñom ñokoy jël.
Yes.
Wow.
where the problem is
Nena why problem bi fu mu
reduced into writing by audit reports and findings,
mooy nga gis ne binde nga xam ne war ngeen ko si audit reports wala finance
by compliance review reports,
ak compliance review
and you have it for the first year,
ne te am nga ko first year
never addressed,
def la si tus
second year,
ñaareel at
never addressed,
def leen fatus
third year,
ñetteel bi
never addressed,
def leen fatus
fourth year, and fifth year,
ñeneental bi juróomeel bi
then that becomes a collective problem.
nee na kon loolu dafa nekk ay problème boo xam ne yéen yëpp yéen a ko bokk
That is what I see, Lord Mayor.
nee na moom si boppam ci mooy loo xam ne loolu la gis
And I'm sure you will agree with that.
nee na te gëm na ne yow sa bopp tamit danga daal di nangu
Mr. Bujang?
Madam Mayor, please answer the question.
Yes, I see.
yes
Thank you.
Now, if you have the correct report,
nee na yow sa bopp soo amee correct report
you will see on page 6. Let me see whether is that's what you have on page 6. It should read.
nee na report bi nga xam ne su fekkee ne boobu la ak boobu sax dafa ànd mooy correct report nee na soo demee what page
6.
page 6
1.4
1.4
should read.
nee na loolu mu war a wax mooy
The audit focused on the financial transactions and financial statements for the years ended 31st December to 31st December 2022. Is that the one you have?
Page 6.
Page 6, yes.
no
May I please help you? May I please see that report to see whether we are treated the same?
nee na mu jàpp na daa boobu la war a date
Page 6.
Okay. I suspect it was the volume of the, I suspect it's the wrong one. But let me just see. Okay, this is the special audit report.
this is a special audit
Yes.
report
Yes. Namcha is a special audit report. We're talking about the general yearly audit report.
yeah, talking about the yearly general report
I can suspend that now.
okay
Madam Mayor, let me suspend this issue. We will want to give you a copy so it's fair that you go through the things we will discuss. Oh,
very
Convenient for it to stop.
stop.
very right.
So we'll see tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll continue with the mail tomorrow
Tomorrow.
and the CA.
Very right.
So thank you so much, Mr. Batshily,
Thank you.
and the Honorable Mayor for coming. We'll continue tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We may rise.